to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Your skin, and take a deep breath in. And as you breathe in a feeling of relaxation, and that's it. And as you exhale, just relax those eyelids. That's it. And enable them to feel as if they're getting heavier and heavier until they're absolutely having no desire to open. Breathing in that feeling of relaxation and resourcefulness, and feeling like you're exhaling tension on the outward breath. Therefore, you're breathing in that feeling of relaxation and exhaling tension, taking you deeper and deeper relaxed with each and every breath. And I want you to see if you can incrementally increase the depth of each breath. By a fraction of a single percentage, see if each breath, by a tiny, minuscule amount, can get slightly deeper than the last. And sometimes that can happen just by, instead of breathing from the chest first, breathing from the diaphragm, as low as you can first, and then the chest, and then the throat, enabling you to take more oxygen in as you breathe in, and then on the outward breath, almost feeling like the body's doing all the work, and that breath is just exhaling now. That's it. Occasionally while I'm speaking, your conscious mind will pick up on different sounds, perhaps sounds of footsteps, voices, noises around you. In a strange and contradictory way, that does what I need it to do, because I'm able to communicate most effectively with your unconscious mind when the conscious mind is distracted. That's right. And I want you to use the power of your imagination, because with each and every breath taking you deeper relaxed, as your body relaxes, your imagination becomes more active. And I want you to use that power of your imagination to imagine that you are in a sunny place. I want you to picture a tranquil pool, and for some reason you are the only one around this pool. It's almost like the entire area is just for you. It's a sunny day, you can see palm trees, there is a blue sky, you can feel the warmth of the sun on your skin, and I want you to find, of all the sunloungers, the perfect one, the one that just calls out to you, that you know that you've got the perfect view of the pool, the perfect position in front of the sun. And when you can see the exact sunlounger that you would want to rest on, just let me know by nodding your head. That's it. And I want you to imagine taking a seat on that sunlounger, putting the gradient of the sunlounger to the most comfortable position for you, and then allow your body to just rest on that sunlounger. And while you're on that sunlounger, I want you to imagine that as you breathe in, you're continuing to breathe in that resourceful, relaxing feeling, and continuing to exhale tension. But in the same way that sunshine has the ability for your body to absorb vitamin D just through the rays of sun, I want you to imagine that this sun also, in addition to vitamin D, has a feeling of resourcefulness. Therefore, as you feel your body in whatever clothing is appropriate for where you are right now, there resting in the sun, that your skin, as well as your breath, is absorbing this feeling of relaxation and resourcefulness, enabling you to go deeper and deeper, relaxed. In fact, I will count down from 10 to 1 and you will imagine your whole body getting deeper and deeper relaxed, starting with your eyelids. I want you to focus on those muscles around your eyes, your eyebrows, your eyelids, all the muscles around your eyes. Become aware of any tension around your eyes. Breathe in that feeling of relaxation. Feel the sunshine melting away any tension, and then releasing that tension. Now, that's it. Deeper and deeper relaxed. And now focus on your forehead. Those tiny muscles in your forehead responsible for expressions like concern or surprise. Become aware of those tiny muscles that you don't normally consciously influence. You could even try and make them more tense than they normally are, just to become aware of those muscles. Breathe in that feeling of relaxation. Feel the sunshine melting away that tension, and then relax them. Let go of that tension, taking you deeper and deeper relaxed. That's it. And then 8, focusing on the muscles around your mouth, jaw, cheeks. Again, these are muscles that you don't tend to consciously tense or flex, but you can become aware that there are muscles there because you need those muscles to talk, to chew, to breathe. And I want you to imagine that as you breathe in that feeling of relaxation and resourcefulness and feel that sunshine on your skin, again, it's releasing that tension. Perhaps even feel your tongue or your jaw loosening, relaxing. Even muscles in your cheek, just let them soften and loosen. That's it. Deeper and deeper relax. And allow that relaxation now to spread, 7, there into your neck and your shoulders. What many people describe as the bank account of tension. And there's certain things that are worth saving. Memories, money, but certainly not tension. And I want you to imagine that tension in your neck and your shoulders almost like crystals of ice, because those muscles tend to be more firm and tense when tension is there. And I want you to imagine that as you feel that sunshine on your skin and breathe in that feeling of relaxation, just imagine those crystals of ice melting away. That's it. Getting deeper and deeper relaxed all across your neck and your shoulders, and feel that 6, feeling of sensation of relaxation going all the way down your arms to the very tips of your fingers. That's it. Deeper and deeper relax. And now imagine a color that represents resourceful relaxation going in through your nose and filling your lungs. So even your internal organs are becoming relaxed. Imagine your lungs are relaxing. Now, imagine your heart is relaxing. Now, imagine your stomach is relaxing. Your diaphragm is relaxing. Now, that's it. Deeper and deeper relax. And then take that sensation of relaxation right into your gut, into your intestines. And I want you to feel that even your gut is relaxing. For many people, they will feel anxiety and tension and stress there in their gut, almost like knotted tubes. And as they relax, just feel that your whole body is relaxing. The gut is also known as the second brain, a source of intuition. And if it's tense, you can't get clear signals as to what your intuition is telling you. And as your gut relaxes, your intuition increases, creating a better communication channel between your brain, the logical thought, and your gut, your emotional thought. Deeper and deeper relax. 5, as you feel that relaxation going into your legs, and 4, all the way down into your feet. Deeper and deeper relax, feeling your arms and legs are getting heavier and loose as you're there on that sunlounger by that pool with the sunshine on your skin, and your arms and legs, your limbs are so loose, so limp, almost like you are a puppet without strings. Someone could lift up your leg or your arm and it would all be loose, and they could let it go and it would flop all the way back down. That's it. Feel it being that loose, that relaxed. Now, 3 and then 2, getting deeper and deeper relaxed, imagining what it would be like, as perhaps has happened before, where you've had a nap, you've fallen asleep there on that sunlounger. And if you can imagine or remember a time where you have fallen asleep on a sunlounger in the sun, just let me know by nodding your head. That's it. And I want you to imagine that's about to happen now, just in your imagination, not for real. But imagine what it would be like to fall asleep, 2 and then 1 and then 0, fall asleep on that sunlounger. And as you do so, imagine that you're able to do what naturally happens when you're having a nap, and that is that your physical body goes to sleep as sometimes your mind becomes even more active. And I want you to imagine you are now dreaming that you are around the same pool, and I want you to see that you can see your physical body is fast asleep on that sunlounger, on the exact one that you've chosen. And yet it almost feels like there is now a different part of you, a part that wants change, a part that wants balance, a part that wants two seemingly contradictory things: more control and yet more harmony. And allow that part to walk to a different part of the pool. And I want you to imagine somewhere nearby is a door, and this door doesn't even need to be attached to a building. And if you can imagine that door, just let me know by nodding your head. And this door is going to lead to your own private cinema, just for you. And as you can imagine standing in front of the door, imagine that I will count down from 5 to 1, and you will open the door, walk through the door, and find yourself in your own private luxury cinema. Starting to count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, opening the door, walking through, and there you are in your own private cinema. And I want you to find the most comfortable seat where you've got the best view of this huge screen just for you. The screen, the cinema, the sound is all just for you. And when you're taking a seat in that cinema, just let me know by nodding your head. That's it. And I want you to imagine that just by your thoughts, you can control what you see on that screen. And let's test it out. I want you to see you in the past on that screen where you were at your most resourceful. Not necessarily when you were most in control. Because the idea of being completely in control means that there is a presupposition that you need to control yourself, rather than working in harmony with yourself. I want you to see a memory of you on screen where you were resourceful and had balance in your life. And if you could imagine such a memory, put it up on the screen and let me know by nodding your head. That's right. And I want you to notice how you looked in that memory. See how you were breathing, see your facial expressions. If you were smiling, become aware of that. And I want you to play a game that you played when you were a child, the mimicking game. I want you to mimic the breathing, the facial expressions of that person from your past where you were highly resourceful and in harmony with yourself. So if that version of you is smiling, I want you to smile. If that version of you has relaxed shoulders, relax your shoulders. If they're breathing deeply, allow yourself to breathe deeply, so that you are matching and mimicking that version of you where you were at your most resourceful and yet in harmony, in collaboration with yourself. And when you feel that how you are and how that version on the screen are pretty much the same, let me know by nodding your head. That's it. And now I want you to imagine that you are drifting from the chair into the screen, so you get to try on that version of you for size. Step into that version of you, feeling how good it feels to feel that resourceful, and noticing that there isn't the need to control because there isn't that sense of struggle. Control is necessary when you have conflict. And I want you to just imagine where there is conflict situations in nations, in organizations. The general needs to control the troops because the troops don't want to work for the general. And I want you to get a sense of the body that you're in right now is in harmony. And therefore, less control is necessary because parts of your subconscious mind are working as a team towards the same goal. And if that feels like it's the case, let me know by nodding your head. That's right. Of course, decisions need to be made, but decisions are easier to be made when they're made as a team, all parts working in the same direction, rather than dictating certain things that have to be done from a sense of control. And being disciplined isn't necessarily controlling yourself, but influencing yourself and leading yourself. And I want you to get a sense of where you feel that resourceful feeling deep inside you. And if it feels like it has a location, just let me know by nodding your head and then pointing roughly to where that location is. That's it. And I want you to use the power of your imagination to turn that location into a three-dimensional shape. That three-dimensional shape could be a cube or a sphere or a pyramid, three-dimensional shape, and I want you to give it a color. And I want you to make that color brighter and that shape slightly bigger. And then notice if that shape is moving, spinning, pulsating or vibrating. And however it's moving, just mimic that with your hand so I can see how that shape is moving. That's it. And I want you to spin it in that direction even faster to see if it amplifies that feeling of resourcefulness. And if it does, keep it at that speed. And if it doesn't, put it back to how it was before until you find the optimal speed to feel at the most resourceful in a harmonious way. And when you've got that speed, let me know by nodding your head. That's it. And I want you to attach a sound to that as well, a sound that makes you feel resourceful and in harmony with yourself. And that might be a whoosh, or it might be a phrase. We've got this. In fact, try saying that, we've got this, as in multiple parts of you are all in this together to move forward as to what you want. And I want you to try 2 or 3 different sounds or phrases until you find the winner. And when you find the winner, just let me know what that sound is or what that phrase is. And you can do that out loud. Your voice still works. We've got this. We have got this. But all parts are working in harmony and collaboration, and yet you still feel incredibly resourceful. And at any point in the future, when you remember that time that you were at your most resourceful, feeling in harmony with yourself, and you imagine stepping into that version of you with that shape in that location, spinning in that direction, at that brightness, in that color, saying, we've got this, you will activate that very same feeling that you're experiencing right now. And if it feels good to be in collaboration and harmony and still feel incredibly resourceful, let me know by nodding your head. And we've got this. That's it. Imagine stepping now back out of the screen, there into that chair, and just blank the screen. We visited the past, we've accessed a highly resourceful memory, and now we need to see the future. And I want you to imagine that you've been able to access this harmonious, resourceful feeling, not every now and then, but consistently. You've got good at it in the same way that you've learned many, many skills. This is just yet another skill, accessing a highly resourceful yet harmonious, resourceful state. And imagine that you've been able to activate that for many months. So many months in a sense that you've been able to lose weight happily. Rather than losing weight to become happy, imagine that you've happily lost weight because we've got this. All parts are moving in the same direction. And that direction is a compelling vision for the future. And I want you to see on screen what that future looks like. Perhaps you can visit a future, see yourself on screen as if you're someone else, perhaps even through the lens of a camera. Maybe that camera is owned by Sky Sports or perhaps the BBC. And imagine that they are filming you, and they're filming you and your teammates at the GS Bowl. And I want you to see that that expression that you had before when you were harmoniously resourceful is the exact same expression when they see you there on the field. And if you can see that you are relaxed, happy, confident, and it just so happens that you've lost weight as well, if you can see that future, let me know by nodding your head. That's right. I want you to see that control and forcing your body to do certain things wasn't necessary. Because sometimes when you trust your unconscious to work together, it will surprise you in unexpected and positive ways. And sometimes when you try and force certain parts, those parts of your unconscious can become like toddlers or teenagers, rebelling just because they can rebel, showing you how much power they have. And yet, when you've got that harmonious relationship with those parts, they pleasantly surprise you with how much responsibility they can take. Once these parts know that we're all in this together, and this is a compelling vision, and that by them rebelling, it messes it up for everyone, you'll be surprised at how keen they are to work with you so that you can happily lose weight, not because you need it to be happy or more confident, just because it's a side effect of being in harmony with yourself. And if that feels like it would be true as you see yourself in the future, there, looking confident, looking on the ball, alert, looking like you've trained well and prepared well, and seem in the right state of mind, just let me know by nodding your head. That's it. And I want you to step into that version of you. Perhaps there you are on the field, wearing whatever clothes you would. There, step into that version of you and immediately feel that resourceful, collaborative feeling. All parts of your unconscious mind are working in harmony, and yet you've been able to lose weight. And perhaps your weight is between that upper and lower limit that you have in your mind, which is your target area. And perhaps if it falls below that, you would want your unconscious intuitively to enable you to eat certain foods at a higher amount so that you gain weight. And perhaps if it goes above that level, you would want your intuition to enable you to make certain choices that would naturally enable your body and your metabolism to burn any excess body fat so that you can be at your optimal physical level. And if that makes sense and feels like that's the case as you're in that body of you in the future, let me know by nodding your head. That's right. And not only that, I want you to think back from within that future memory of yours and realize that perfection wasn't necessary. You were able to get to this place where you are on this stage where the crowds, the TV cameras, perhaps friends and family are watching you. You were able to do this without being perfect. You had the occasional off day. You weren't perfect, and yet you still managed to achieve this weight, achieve this level of fitness, and achieve more harmony within yourself. And if that feels like it's a true statement that you were still able to have the odd bad day and the odd setback and still make progress, let me know by nodding your head. That's it. Because some people have had beliefs that if just one thing goes wrong, then it isn't worth doing it at all. They're either on track or they're off track. And what's more the case, as you imagine being on that field, is that each time there is a ball or an over, if you're in the wrong position, depending on the speed and the way in which the ball is bowled, you would simply refine and react. You already know how to make minor adjustments to improve based on what's going on around you. And if that feels like it's true, that it isn't about all or nothing, but minor refinements is much more useful and practical and helpful to you and everyone around you, let me know by nodding your head. And that's exactly how you will respond to food. It isn't a case that it's all or nothing, but more that it is about balance. And within that future version of yourself, I want you to think back to a memory of when you were able to take control from within a binging session. Because in order to make this progress, there needed to be the first occasion where you were able to mess up that pattern and take control when you wouldn't normally have had control. And I want you to think back to that moment. So you're now in the future thinking back to a memory. Think of a time where you were in a mid-binge. Perhaps there you are in your living room, and there you are with the food in front of you. And it kind of feels like, why am I doing this? And yet it feels like you can't stop. And when you're in that place, in that moment, through your own eyes, seeing whatever food you are about to binge on, just let me know by nodding your head. That's right. And at this point, I want you to try your hardest to imagine eating whatever food is in front of you while simultaneously having each bite of whatever food creates an image perhaps of pictures or reflections or memories of you where you have fat in the places where you don't want it. Try your hardest. Bite into that chocolate, and each bite of chocolate, each taste of chocolate enables you to see an image of you with more body fat than you would want. Perhaps you can even attach words like fat or chubby to that, and try your hardest to see if it's possible to continue binging when each and every bite, each and every taste, each and every smell creates a new mental image of you seeing the direct consequences of a binge. And if you feel that it's harder and harder to just binge unconsciously, when each time you do, an image comes to mind of you when you're seeing the consequences of these binges, let me know by nodding your head. That's right. And I want to ask your unconscious mind if it's willing for a compromise. And that compromise is not a future where there is no chocolate, no high-calorie foods ever. And also, there isn't a future where you spiral out of control, where you eat whatever you want to whatever level that you want, irrespective of the consequences. I want to see if your unconscious mind is willing to have a compromise, and that compromise is that you can eat whatever food that you want, so long as you accept and reconcile the consequences of that food, meaning that you are able to have whatever high-calorie food that you want on the condition that you enjoy it. Because your unconscious mind already knows that if you have small amounts of these foods, you are able to enjoy them. And if you were to have too much, you wouldn't be able to enjoy them, because your intelligent, forward-thinking, well-prepared, disciplined mind would know the consequences of eating too much. Your unconscious mind already knows what is the right balance. And I want to ask your unconscious mind if it's willing to take the control away from that binary, all or nothing approach, dictatorial, hierarchical control, and give the control to your intuition, to your unconscious, so that your unconscious, if you're eating too much, will create images of the consequences, and then you will decide to stop. But also enable you to have balance in your life, so that you can enjoy the occasional treat and still feel that there is harmony and control. And if that's the case, let me know by nodding your head. That's it. And at the point where the occasional treat is drifting into a binge, immediately images of you being fat, chubby, losing control, spiraling out of control will come to mind, and that will shock your system enough for you to regain control and then decide at any level, even if you have food in your mouth, I want you to imagine spitting out the food and deciding enough is enough. And I want you to do that. I want you to imagine 3 different possible scenarios within a binge that you could decide enough is enough and then stop. And the first is when the food is already in your mouth. You decide those images of the future consequences are not desirable. You say enough is enough. And just imagine spitting it out into the toilet, into a bin, into the sink. And then doing whatever you need to, going for a jog, breathing in, meditation, going for a walk, wiping the slate clean. And then decide it's something else. Maybe there is something that you've already taken a bite of, or a few things within a packet, and then just see yourself putting it back in the cupboard or perhaps in the bin, deciding enough is enough, we don't need this. And each time that you take control mid-binge, feel an overwhelming sense of victory. I'm talking the level of victory when you've won your proudest matches, Can you access those emotions when you've had an incredible victory? And if you can, let me know by nodding your head. And I want you to point to that feeling in your body where you feel that victory exists for you. That's it. That's where victory is. And it has noises attached and it has a feeling attached. And now every single time that you break a binge, it's going to trigger that sensation because it is a victory. If you can break a binge, if you can break that pattern, if you can take control at times where you didn't have it, you are victorious. And therefore, I want you to celebrate as if it is a victory. I want you to do one more occasion where you've broken a binge in the middle of a binge. Have that feeling of victorious, and then imagine that you are doing a celebration there in your living room. I want you to make the celebration as ridiculous as it could be, like you're holding a trophy. Imagine high-fiving imaginary teammates. Make it the most ridiculous celebration that you can so that it feels good and silly to break that binge. And if you feel that that not only has happened in your mind but could happen in reality, let me know by nodding your head. That's right. And then you realize that this is just a memory of an event that hasn't happened yet but could happen in the future. As there you are in the future, there at the GS Bowl, and I want you to imagine that you've had one of the best performances of your entire career. You've impressed people with your fitness, your attention, your alertness, your professionalism. I want you to imagine getting lots and lots of plaudits, compliments just on how you are, and also hear those compliments on your fitness as well. And know that this is possible with a harmonious, resourceful relationship with your unconscious, where all parts of you have that same attitude of, let's do this. And then imagine that you're back there in that cinema looking at the screen, knowing that you've accessed the resources of the past, created a compelling vision of the future, and now are equipped and almost bizarrely looking forward to that first time that you can celebrate victory at breaking a binge. And each time you celebrate a victory, it gets easier and easier to break that pattern. And if there is high levels of optimism and resourcefulness that it is just a foregone conclusion, that sooner or later you will be able to break a binge and then celebrate in a victorious way, knowing that by doing it once or twice you'll never need to do it again. Let me know by nodding your head. That's right. And then recall that here you are in a private cinema and it's time to leave that private cinema, and as you do, you find yourself back out by the side of a pool, and it feels weird because you've gone from a dark place to a bright place, and that thing with your eyes happens where your pupils start to change size and you acclimatize to this new brightness of where you are, and then you see that version of you fast asleep there on a sunlounger, deeply, deeply asleep all this time. I want you to imagine climbing into that version of you, feeling that all parts are now conscious and unconscious working together. All parts are now looking forward to a resourceful, harmonious relationship. Rather than forcing your body to do certain things, allow your body to work with you, responding to that intuition, getting the balance right, making training fun, enjoying eating all food, healthy and not healthy, but realizing that this balance is possible because it isn't a binge if you have the occasional treat, but if you go to excess, you look forward to breaking that pattern by stopping mid-action and then celebrating that victory that you've broken a pattern. And then recall that this is just a thought within a thought, a dream within a dream, and actually there you are in your own home listening to my voice right now. And in a few moments' time, I will count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. You will awaken feeling highly resourceful, having a harmonious relationship with yourself, looking forward to having a sense of control, but a sense of control based on collaboration rather than conflict. Because you've seen that in the teams that you've been in the past, the best teams are where the teams are separate entities but all moving in the same direction. And if there is too much micromanagement and people are told exactly what to do and how to do it, that creates less cohesiveness within the team. You've already seen that in your own experience, and therefore allow these parts within you to not be controlled as much as encouraged, influenced. In a few moments' time, you will awaken feeling highly resourceful, highly optimistic, looking forward to this new relationship with yourself where balance is possible, and looking forward to celebrating the victory of breaking that very first next binge. Starting to count to awaken you. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.